Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode from Tales from the Tavern. I hope you all are doing well. We are back here planning a new comic book, so be on the lookout for The Adventures of Pumpkin Man. Oddly, Pumpkin Man looks a lot like Gum and wears a suit with pumpkins all over it, kind of like the one that you might have seen in the Starting Soon screen. So, with that said, we're going to go around, give everyone a chance to introduce themselves and tell us a little about who they are, and then we will talk a little about how the stream is going to work. So, speaking of Matt/Gumballow, let's start with you.
Hey, that's me. I'm Matt, or Gumballow. I'm the GM over on my Twitch channel, currently playing Adventures in Calturnia, where my party hates me because I just killed a character.
Oh, no!
Hey, it happens. Sometimes the dice just want to stab someone. But for bigger things, you can find me this Friday playing on Luna's channel, playing some Pathfinder 2E for Casa de Colores, raising money for transgender refugees.
True story. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, but yeah, that's going to be super awesome. Matt, thanks for coming on and hanging out tonight. I'm excited to have you back.
Heck yeah, it's good to be back.
Heck yeah. Next, we're going to go over to Allo. So welcome, Allo.
Hi everyone, really excited to be here. My name is Olo Clark. I'm an actor, writer, DM, player, and one of the creative directors for Escape Playing Games, who are a TTRPG publishing house. And we have just published our first book, which I know you'll all agree with on the title. It is called Tavern Tales.
It's true, that's why we connected.
It's genuinely just on Twitter going, yeah, that would be funny, let's chat. It's an anthology book where all the adventures start from a set tavern called A Trip Away In. It's got 14 quests, I think 12 merchant possibilities, a bunch of NPC staff members, locals, tavern regulars, pub games, and it's just all designed to be there for the busy DM who needs a week off home brewing and can just drop this in for the week and have something for your players to be that is fleshed out but location agnostic, doesn't need too much reading, you can just pick it up and go. And yeah, really looking forward to chatting to everyone, chatting about the book more, and hearing what everyone's been up to.
That's awesome. Very exciting. Congratulations on the book.
It's real. I can touch it. It's actually happened.
I know. That's so cool. So I'm really excited to have Orc back because Orc was one of my very first guests on Tales from the Tavern like 3 years ago and hasn't been back since. But he hangs out in my Discord a lot, so it's not like we never get to chat. So, Orc, tell us about yourself.
I am a lifelong nerd for both video games and tabletop stuff. I met Luna a long time ago, another channel, helped plan shenanigans. These days, I'm still doing tabletop stuff. We're doing a 5e campaign right now, and that's been interesting. We've been doing Pathfinder before. But I lurk a lot. I occasionally do some writing and create some things, one-page RPGs, which I would tell you where to find them, except that my internet, my host provider has apparently disappeared with my website. So.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Right, like years and years of like art and like short stories and all sorts of stuff just poof.
Oh, that's the saddest thing.
Right, and I didn't realize it until you were like, "Oh, give me your links." I was like, "Let me go check." Oh God! Oh God!
So sad.
Oh no!
But I'm around. I'm on Twitter, and I'm always following what's going on. I try to keep my finger on everything that's happening in the world.
It's true. It's true. Well, Orc, I'm super glad you're here, and I'm excited we get a chance to catch up and not just shoot people in Washington D.C. in video games.
I would say I'm glad you finished that specification.
Oh God!
Oh God! What are we getting into? Ellie, welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for having me. This is my first time on Tales from the Tavern. My name is Ellie. I am a sometimes player, sometimes GM. I am a fellow lifelong nerd, though, from a young age. It was pretty much exclusively video games. I only got into tabletop about 5 years ago. Not for lack of trying. And this is kind of where I live these days. I do freelance writing where I can. My regular gig is handling the session summaries for Keith Baker's Patreon game that he runs once a month for people who are part of that Patreon tier, where like I do little riffs so that people can see what happened in the session. And other than that, these days, I get invited places. I'm here. I've been doing some videos with Maitri from Maitri Plays Games, which is absolutely check her out. Yeah, got to meet cool folks like Todd Moonbounce and be on his channel, and hoping to do a panel at PAX Unplugged this year if it gets approved.
I know. I'm waiting to hear the same. I'm waiting for the same news for that. So we'll have to keep each other posted.
Yeah. So I'm on Twitter. I write things. I say things. I play things. Hello.
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 I know.
Yay.
Awesome. And because she couldn't stay away and she's making up for lost time having waited this long to come on Tales, Lauren is back.
I know. I was here like yesterday. Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
Nice to
right.
see ya.
Lauren just hangs out here now when nobody's watching. So
I'm just on all the time. I'm just on constant standby, just waiting for Luna to get press go. Oh, but yes, hello everyone. Lauren here. You can find me on Twitter at Hottinger Lauren or Larbarian. Let's see. I'm bad at these. I am a podcast member, player. Is that the word? Yeah, player on Intelligence Check D&D. You guys can find. Oh God, it's Intel Check D&D is the Twitter handle. I also have a bit part on Warlock D&D, which I think is at Warlock D&D. So that'll be fun in season 2. I also am a commission artist. I do a lot of maps, hand inked. I do a lot of other crafty stuff. Current projects, let's see, I'm working on a map for the Lost Lauren Gaming Company, which is Mark Reinhagen's company, the guy who created Vampire the Masquerade. So it's fun doing his I'm doing a map for the next 2 things that they're working on, which is exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's super fun. And geez, let's see. Oh God, I think that's most of it. I don't know. I'm bad at these things. But anyway, I like to do I like gardening and I like to do crafty stuff. So most of my Twitter is just I love it, Ellie. Just random crap. Crafty stuff is pretty much what it is. So yeah.
And as I said last time you were here, Lauren is a druid confirmed.
I do like yes, I do like plants. I do like magical stuff, and I do like animals and all that fun stuff. So you will see a fair amount of gardening posts if you go check out my Twitter account, everyone.
It's true. And Chad is pointing out, Lauren, that you're not purple this time.
I know. I have the ring light thing, but where's the button?
Lauren was purple for the entire stream the last time she was here. It was great.
All right, get ready. Oh no, wait. Something's happening. Oh, it's red. Wait, I can't make it. You guys. Anyway. I'm
she really is tech challenged. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's like embarrassing. Oh, that's blue.
Sorry, everyone. The stream's ruined. Go home.
I know.
That's it, right?
It's just becoming
Look, I hit rave mode.
horror movie now.
Are we raving?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's rave. Okay, that's kind of purpley.
All right. Cool.
Doesn't look as good.
Awesome.
Anyway.
All right. Well, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, let me tell you a little about how this stream works. So Tales from the Tavern is basically question and answer, and we take all of our questions from chat. So If you have questions that you would like to ask our panel, feel free to just drop those in the chat. We have moderators that will make sure that I get them so that we can talk about them. And if you've been around for a little while and you've got some channel points racked up, you can use the Ask My Question Next feature with the channel points. For 1,000 channel points only, you can have your question bumped up to the next one in the queue. So if you're afraid that we might run out of time, you can definitely do that. And also, my cats would like to remind you there is for 500. There they are. 2 of them right at the same time. 2 of the cat treats. Cats for cats. Treats for cats. Just
Did it
came
already
in.
happen?
2 of them.
I would
It's
claim
just
one.
redeem on the channel.
I want to give them treats.
All right, I've got cat treats. My cat is already looking over here, so one of them will probably make an appearance very shortly.
You limit how many treats your cats can have?
Well, I mean, if you saw how many they got every time they got redeemed. It's like treats for
12,000
kitties.
points
Each
here. What am I
cat,
going to spend this on?
each cat gets like 7 treats when it gets redeemed. So,
It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
all right. So let's see. We've already had a couple of questions come in from chat, so we're going to dive right in with some of the chat questions. The first one comes in from Finbin, and the question is, what is your favorite use of a mimic?
I've actually just had this. I would, if other people need time to think, I've got one unfortunately clear in my mind.
I've got a few, but that's my partner, so I will wait till the end.
My players. So I was warned by a DM I look up to very much, who is actually now one of my players, Mike Pisani, and who is one of the directors at Escape Plan. I think it was Mike. Was like, be very careful when you use mimics, because once you use them and they're part of your world, your players will not trust any objects ever again, and half of your sessions will just become, I'm doing insight checks on the door, I'm doing insight checks on the cup, I'm doing a perception check on this empty void you've put me in. So I finally sprung one on them, and because they are doing a seafaring campaign, I had a mimic float past that looked like a wrecked treasure ship, like a sort of banking, like cross-channel bullion ship, and they got all the way down onto the 4th deck before it all started to spring teeth and started to fold in half. The ship started to fold in half and try and eat them, which resulted in a use of a spell that I didn't know worked this way. Our druid used Moonbeam, and there is a little line at the end of Moonbeam that I've never read before, because when would this ever turn up? Which is something along the lines of, if you use Moonbeam on a shape-shifting creature, it becomes immediately its own form and is locked in that form until it leaves Moonbeam. Did anyone else know that line?
No.
No.
Because I did. So I had to,
Holy
on
crap.
the fly, decide what a deep sea mimic actually looked like,
Oh.
which was an amazing offer to get for my players. So suddenly they were all just in the pit of this like fleshy eldritch lotus that was just sort of bobbing across the sea.
Oh.
That's super cool, though.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, but definitely the most wrong-footed I've been by them in a while. So that is my favorite and only use for mimics so far. Matt,
I
what
love
was
it.
yours?
All right, so my favorite personal use of a mimic is a mimic outhouse, because you're going to go outside, it's at night, you don't have weapons, you don't have armor. However, the most terrifying goes to my partner, which is a mimic beach, where every individual grain of sand is its own mimic.
Oh no.
And it waits till you're halfway down the shoreline until all of them strike.
Oh my god.
Oh man. That's
Rude.
mean.
Right?
Amazing.
And
But
that's
holy moly.
I'm the GM and she's not.
That's next level. Also, the fact that there is a Wiz Kids mini for the outhouse mimic
Yes.
just shows that those people are just psychopaths. They've sunk money into making this happen for people.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's
pretty
a really
funny.
nice mini, though. I mean,
I've seen it.
Do
Yeah.
you have like 5 of them?
Painted in different colors.
Yeah, one in each color. I love it.
This is supposed to be a safe place.
Not anymore.
Oh man.
hmm.
Anybody else use mimics?
I played a
You know,
game
the-
once where we had to come up against a mimic, and I managed to put it to sleep.
Oh,
Nice.
It was a door mimic, yeah.
there you
So
go.
of course we put the
Yeah.
door to sleep, and the door just goes, meow,
So convenient.
right?
So here's my question about that. There's no way that you just happened to go, I bet this door after 3 years of a campaign is a mimic. What was it in either in your DM or in the world you've been in for the last however many 100 hours that were like, yeah, this is definitely one.
It was, well, we were doing the Death House part of Curse of Strahd. So I will leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
There you go. The favorite mimic I ever ran into as a player was from my very first DM, and I loved it because it was kind of it was a riff on that, that old joke about, I laughed, he laughed, the table laughed, we killed the table.
Yes.
So, we're in the tavern, we're doing our thing, and the bar itself, like I don't mean the building, I mean the piece of furniture, like at the bar, was the mimic. And knowing that it was a mimic, and knowing that, I decided to kill it with fire. So then the DM, gets the it's a good roll, and she just says, okay, well, yeah, the bar is completely permeated with alcohol from years of being a tavern, so poof. And I wrote a very nice letter to the owner of the tavern, persuading him to not fire the bartender, and it worked. Like, our bad, sorry.
Oh.
So you went full, I saw a spider, burn it down.
Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah. The guys over at Lasers and Liches have some fun ideas about mimics. Though the best I've ever encountered was, instead of saying it was a cursed piece of armor, the armor was the mimic.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh.
Right. So you get this very fancy armor, and if you let it just kind of drain you a little bit, you might get a bonus. Of course, there's also a chance it just might decide to finally eat you.
Oh.
You had to have
Jeez.
have a symbiotic relationship with it. It didn't just try and immediately, oh, I like that.
That's pretty awesome.
How long are you just going to keep your hand in the lion's mouth?
I wish I had a cool mimic story. I don't think I've ever. I think I've never come across a mimic. I've never put one in a game because I haven't run that many games. I'm usually a player. But now that I think of it, I don't think I've ever been around one. I missed
Tragic.
out on so much.
Tragic.
I don't have a healthy fear of outhouses the way I should, I suppose.
Well,
I gotta make
So
that
if any
happen. Somebody make that
Florence
happen.
The best part about
Yeah.
being around
Well-
mimics is you never know.
Is Baron
Yeah.
von Uberdorf still in the chat?
Yeah, if any of Lauren's GMs are watching, mimic.
He is the intelligence check. That's Kyle, the intelligence check DM. So I'll have to yell at him and tell him to put more mimics in. There was a mimic in season 1, but I was only on season 2, so I missed the mimic action.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
no.
I know. Oh, maybe next time.
Maybe
There's always
next
next time,
time.
everybody.
Oh.
Next time you play a thief, you're going to find some rich guy who's got a trained mimic as his coin purse.
Baron von Uberdorf is still in chat, so.
Oh, he said you did all walk past one once. What? When?
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
There was also many in season 1. I got that. I know. I said that one. Oh, interesting. Well, now we'll have to find out about that later. Anyway. That was
Yeah. Oh man.
Opportunities missed.
So sad. All right. Well, the next question that we have came in from Todd Moonbound. Hi, Todd. And Todd would like to know, what has been your favorite non-meet in a tavern way to bring PCs together?
Oh. Okay.
Prisoners has always been a fun one.
I think my latest has been in a cyberpunk game. They were all people working for the same employer that just got annoying texts from their boss and ended up needing to shit talk him.
That's great.
Yeah, I love any kind of in media res kind of hot opens. Recently played through one where the hot start was you're all going to a fancy gala to find a guy who's wants to get out of his old life. He's about to flip, so go to the party, schmooze, play some cards, just hot open. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. Sorry, everybody. My cat keeps mashing my computer. I can't focus on anything else. I'm so sorry. Mustache, stop.
As someone who's just written a book that's a tavern, done quite a lot of you meet in a tavern thinking recently. I think I did do a Call of Cthulhu game not long ago where, again, we all got sinister letters from a sort of retired millionaire surgeon, and everyone got slightly different messages. So we all went through the adventure with slightly different. Not even necessarily missions, but different focuses on what was going on. Everyone had part of the jigsaw. It was like a Saw movie of you're all in this room and we all know we're here for a reason, but I've only got the elephant's trunk and you've got the elephant's tusk and you've got the elephant's ear.
Yeah.
I did something similar like that for my players recently when I started a campaign a few months ago, where they all had to wind up in the same place for the prologue, but yeah, they all had, based on their backstory, just gave each of them a different reason for getting there, and some of it was conveniently built into the adventure, and some of it was just, they're doing something different, and it worked great. They came together really well. They had a fun little prologue, and
love it.
I'm a huge proponent of the starting a tavern, though. I think it's a really, really useful thing because the tavern itself is such a pub is such a good sort of microcosm of wherever you are. So for me, it's a really easy way to introduce players to if you guys are starting in Hobbiton, the tavern is not going to be full of 6-foot dark strangers all ignoring each other or trying to cut your purse or whatever. It's just a really nice tonal lead onto wherever you guys are starting, because presumably your players haven't, if this is the first 30-40 seconds of gameplay, there is nothing else that they've been sort of introduced to. So for me, it's a really lovely way to set that expectation, and for new players as well. Everyone can imagine what being in a bar is like.
Right.
So if you haven't played D&D before, the first NPC who comes up to you and says, "What can I get you?" That's not the hardest little bit of role play to drop something, rather than you are on the 6th circle of Mechanus, 4 Modrons float past you and in binary ask, "What do you do?"
I mean, you'd think so, but in my experience, you have the bartender ask your players, "What are you having?" And each of them is going to spend 5 minutes asking for the full list of everything you serve at the tavern, and then the prices, and how can I have change for this silver. And
yeah. I only carry Electrum.
All right, and
Yeah.
see,
No,
who here uses
Get out of my
Electrum?
bar.
you never get change. You never get change for anything.
Yeah, no change. There's no change here.
I
Like
do
Shirley
really like
sandwiches.
the invitation thing, right? The house on haunted hill approach. Everybody shows up and has like no idea what they're doing there, but they all got invites.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's a last will and testament or it gets real spooky, whatever. But that's a fun way to kick it off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good time.
I have a cool opening for a Vampire the Masquerade game, but I can't say it because it's gonna Kyle, my DM, is going to be playing in that game, so I can't spoiler alert it. But
No.
I know. I'm just like, get out of here, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah. No, but it is neat. It is. Wonder forever what it could be, people. I'll tell you once we start playing Vampire, and I'll come back to it.
I just saw in the chat, Mac, you wrote, okay, but what about a tavern in Mechanus?
Yeah.
I see you. I hear you. I like where your head's at. Let's talk.
Make it happen.
There's a couple people talking about the various
Matthew is the
kidnap
person
wagons.
who ran the hot open I just talked about enjoying as a player.
Oh, Vertrox in chat just said I want to start with a whodunit murder mystery.
There you go.
That's cool.
That'd be fun.
And then
Wait. Mechanist Tavern. Is this like different grades of oil and gasoline that they're serving to the people? So the adventuring party is just like, I can't even have any of this?
The prices are just a stock market that is constantly changing behind the bar. The prices are just constantly reflecting the demand in the pub.
That's how it works.
Hmm.
Yeah, mommy.
and
Can't
then
wait for everyone else in the pub to go to the bathroom to order a drink.
Here's the culprit right
Yes.
there.
Hello, kitten.
What are you doing? Sorry, guys. I'm being attacked by my kitten.
yeah, your cat has something to say on the microphone apparently.
I did. Mustache. Get lost.
And Jason in chat says this works even better if you cross genres. Have the players make 5e characters that wake up in a van in a cyberpunk game.
Oh, no.
Whoa, that's awesome. Oh, I like
have a lot
that.
of questions.
Brilliant.
Oh.
That would be awesome. Oh my god.
God, what is it? Dark Sun, the big campaign that starts there. Everybody starts off as a prisoner, so it starts off as effectively as a break out of prison thing, and then it just kind of goes crazy from there.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm trying to think. I think one of the only you meet in a tavern. Well, currently the Cypher game that I'm playing, we're in the middle of space, so there are no taverns. So we definitely didn't do that. But in a fantasy game, we did basically like you all just happen to be traveling on your own and you end up in the same town when this festival is going on. So we all ended up meeting because the festival got attacked, and so like we just happened to enter into combat. So yeah,
You defended Burning Man.
something
Oh.
like
Just
that.
kick it right off.
I just
The
remembered
game
the
opens with
other.
initiative.
Yeah.
I just remembered the other hot open that I really loved, which was an added twist on the "you're all prisoners." It was, you're all prisoners. You wake up in jail, and none of you have any memories of the past year. So part of the campaign was figuring out what happened.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
As a DM who
Yeah, I
doesn't
think-
want any difficult questions right up top.
I think the only other not you wake up in a tavern I ran was Wild Beyond the Witchlight, where
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, by the way, you've all been captured by the Fae. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Go!
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We have a question from KKRP2. What is your favorite genre and or system to play games in?
I'm good friends with KKRP, and he totally asked that just to get me on the stream to talk about Savage Worlds and Eberron.
Oh, I love Savage Worlds. That's a great
I'm sure
system.
Yeah, that's the short answer. My favorite system is Savage Worlds, both to play and to run. And my favorite setting is Eberron, which was originally created for D&D 3rd edition. And I like mixing them.
I backed the Savage World Pathfinder Kickstarter.
Yeah,
So
it's a
I
good
have those,
system.
yeah. I haven't gotten to do anything with them, but I have them.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
KKRP, I know what you did. I know what you did.
We know what you did last summer.
My answer is boring. Mine are just the only ones that I play, the ones that I play the most. So it's just 5th edition and Pathfinder 2e and Vampire the Masquerade. V20 is what I play because that's what I learned on. But yeah, those are probably my top 3. I'm boring just because those are the ones that I play the most.
Well, no, I
It's
also
not
feel
boring
like,
if you're having fun.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I'm also feeling the nerd flex pull of like something that isn't D&D. But I play a lot of D&D. I really like 5th edition. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu is a lovely antidote when you don't want to be a superhero anymore. Like if you know, like that thing of in D&D, I think around level 5 or 6, you can fall out of a plane and hit the ground and be fine, essentially, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to be squishy and terrified and not know what's going on, Call of Cthulhu is a really fun one. The top 2 of my list to play right now are Vampire. I really want to play, never have. I've got the book and I really want to read. And the other one is Good Society, the Jane Austen.
Oh, yeah.
The Jane Austen Regency.
Yeah.
One.
That one looks really cool.
I know a person.
Lot of fun.
I'm a person who knows a person. We'll talk after. Are we talking about what game systems we wish we played? Because
I expanded on that because
someone please invite me to a game of Lancer. Thank you very much.
Which game?
Lancer.
Lancer.
Lancer, yes.
What's Lancer?
Oh, well, let me tell you about that.
Yeah. What? Go or go.
I really like sci-fi systems. I mostly play fantasy systems, but Shadowrun, Lancer, Cyberpunk, BattleTech, MechWarrior, those kinds of things. I really love sci-fi systems. I played Starfinder recently, and it surprised me just how deeply lethal it was. But Lancer comes in 2 flavors now. You have your initial one, which is just, it's about mech pilots and drama and anime mecha goodness. And then they have battle groups, which is space battles in the Lancer universe.
That's cool.
And I have both now. I just need to play them someday.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
But as far as like a specific system, like I don't have like a really specific one that I truly love. I like lots of them for different things. I like Open Legend because it's like stat effects based, and you can just do a whole lot with it. You can go from steampunk to fantasy to sci-fi, all in the same setting.
Love it.
Try Stat DX because it's also disgustingly generic and you can make it into anything.
It's handy.
It is. But the Powered by Darkness system also can be doing anything, but like it really works for horror. It's so good. Like Bluebeard's Bride and stuff.
Ooh. That sounds fun. Have you guys played Werewolf the Apocalypse at all? Because I would like to play that too.
Like once.
I'm not familiar.
Okay. That would be fun.
I played
I want to be a werewolf.
the last World of Darkness game I played was Hunter the Reckoning.
Oh!
And it doesn't go well for you in general.
No! The odds are stacked against you.
The closest I've come is I played a werewolf in a Savage Worlds World of Darkness crossover. So we
Amazing.
used the lore from World of Darkness, but the Savage Worlds rule set.
Ooh.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great. She was
That's
fantastic.
speaking of not
Yeah.
going well for you, the Free League Alien RPG is really good fun as well.
Ooh.
I heard
backed
that's
Blade
fun.
Runner. And I've been debating on buying it because the starter set was down to like $40, and I was like, ooh, maybe.
It's really good. Like you can do campaigns in it, but it's really structured for like just really
Nice.
pouring sweat one shots of just the second you hit. It's like, okay, you've arrived on it's the classic, you'll get a distress beacon and you'll turn up on a ship, and the second you're there, the
Nice.
oxygen goes, or the
Oh,
vents
man.
close, or like, and it just ramps up and ramps up, and it's a D6 pool system.
Nice.
And you slowly build up stress dice over the course of the game. And yeah, I mean,
Intense.
to say
That
it doesn't
sounds
go well
amazing.
for you, sums up. But you've got all these the sort of other factions at play. You've got the like Wayland Yutani puppet masters in the background of stuff, and obviously some skittery friends probably aboard. It's great fun. It's really
That
good.
sounds so much
That's
fun.
pretty
Like
awesome.
orc sci-fi is actually my first love. Fantasy's second. That also reminds me. Really want to
You
pick
played-
up a copy of the Expanse RPG.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard
I've-
nothing but good things
I've heard
about
good
it.
things.
Luna, you played Mothership recently, didn't you?
I have, yes. Actually, I was just thinking about that. I really liked Mothership, and when I played it, both times I've played with Todd. Orc, I just have to point out that Bat Duck just joined chat and just saw that you were on.
No, I see that.
Was it?
But a mutual friend of ours.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, for anybody catching this without the chat attached to it, it just says "orc" in capital letters. So I played a Mothership game. Todd Moonbounce was the storyteller for that one, the warden for that one, and I've played it twice now. We did an Oops All Marines one time, which was really fun. And then the first time that I played it, and it's funny because I was just having a conversation about this with somebody one time, like in the last couple of days. The first time we played it, he did it where, so for anybody who's not familiar, it's a sci-fi, like space horror system. Super fun, really easy to pick up. And he did it where basically we had a set amount of time to accomplish our goal, but he used a timer that was on the screen so we could all see it. I'm like the biggest advocate for that now because it was so cool. Like it just gave all of this like super added stress to the game, but like in a really good way.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I backed their
It's-
last Kickstarter because it looked freaking amazing, and I want it to come so bad. I've got like some of the PDFs, but I want the physical objects. I want to see all that art.
So pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really fun system. There's
Sounds like the most stressful day ever.
I
yeah.
know.
It
Now I'm
really
thinking
was,
of things
but
that are as equally stressful. The only thing that comes to mind is when in Sonic the Hedgehog when you're drowning in that one
This is
level.
exactly what I was
Oh,
thinking.
God.
That music is currently playing in my head. Blah, 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 blah.
It's so scary. You're just like, oh God, no, please.
oh my god,
Yes.
I'm gonna die. Ah.
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. When I'm
I
dying
was-
in real life, that's what I'm going to be hearing in my head.
I was genuinely here trying to keep my heart rate down, trying to not hear that music as you said that.
That's it.
It's too
That's what I want
much.
to play at my funeral now.
I
All
know.
of you can feel the stress.
No, why, Matt? Why? Oh God, it's too much.
Do you want to hear the most anxiety-inducing thing I read recently that I now can't unthink about all the time?
Now I do.
Yeah.
Apologies to everybody. Right now, you have about 2 minutes to live. Taking a breath will reset the clock.
Well, that's it.
Wow. Okay. Thanks.
I'm never sleeping
Oh, I
again
like it.
because I like it. Take it back.
I'm like, oh yeah,
Enjoy.
okay.
I don't know what to do with that now. That's just me. That's just my head now. That's
What-
my
what
head.
is
But
the-
now you people have it as well.
How does this work? It's like you can.
I don't know, but that sounds like an amazing adventure now.
An amazing
I'm so
adventure.
confused.
The
Frank,
adventure of life.
Frank, the TTRPG. There you go. Do it.
It's part of a series called 2 Minute Tales.
2 minutes.
Oh, God.
Dance. How much can you do in 2 minutes?
Yeah, how many words can you get out with a single breath? What's your story?
That's true. This is all tied into Pumpkin Suit, the comic book.
I'm gonna have to go get a pumpkin suit on break, aren't I?
Yes!
You gave away Pumpkin Suit way too early. We were still just working on that. Like,
We weren't ready for how good the idea was. It was just
that
too
IP
perfect.
is just gone.
Now
Yes.
We're just gonna
Who is
build your own
the-
RPG.
Well, who is the like? Who are the skeletons? Are they part of it? Because they're part of it. Like
The skeletons are just my dogs, and they're very happy to have bone chew toys.
all right, that's what happens. Then they
This
have,
is
they'll do
is
something
that,
neat in the comic.
You
Yeah,
have
hi,
push
welcome
stats,
to
right?
Tales from
I feel
the
like we need
Tavern.
fan
We're
art of
writing
this,
a
like-
comic book now.
Yeah.
lung capacity
Coming to shelf soon.
and stamina. The more times you take a breath, the less stamina you have, the lower your lung capacity. You got to get from point A to point B.
Oh.
Yeah.
And if you breathe too fast, it inflicts dizziness.
Sounds like everything I hate about resource management video games.
So this is
Yep.
pumpkin suit crosses the abyss.
Oh, I am into that. I love the abyss. Oh man, so many ideas.
Oh my goodness. All right. I just saw Bat Duck used an Ask My Question Next, and he would like to know, and I'm going to ask it, why is The Princess Bride the best quotable movie for TTRPGs?
It's just so versatile. There's just so many good one-liners. It's just one of those movies that it's like Shaun of the Dead. That movie's so quotable. Why is Arrested Development so quotable? Some movies are just so good.
It's for the same reason that Schitt's Creek has a GIF for everything.
Yes. The most gifable show ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true.
Because when you're playing a TTRPG, every other movie is inconceivable.
Oh!
It is.
It's so true. It's because that film and book, like, there's no one spends too much time on how to put this, the consistency of the world. It's like, we've got Zorro, sure. We've got a giant, kinda. Is he a big guy? Is he actually a giant? Yes, to both. We have big rats. We have a Spaniard. We have people with accents from anywhere in the world. Sure, fine. So like that could be almost any D&D adventuring party with everyone from like one of the Muppets in it. That could have someone from Space Jam. That could have like it could be a Roger Rabbit world. And if you put a scene from Princess Bride in it, it will fit.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense anywhere, which means it makes sense everywhere.
Everywhere.
That was a fantastic analysis. I think that's spot on. You nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just good.
Yeah.
It's such a. I tried showing that to my mum a while ago, and she did not get it at all. She was like, "This is bad, right?" I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Oh.
but like no.
But also
don't worry
no,
about it.
yeah. Oh no. I remember my parents watching it and they just there was absolutely zero connection to the movie with them. And I was like, this is the saddest moment of my life.
Yeah, same. I tried showing my kids, and they were like, "Dad, do we have to finish watching this?" I'm like, "Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
You have to finish it. You have to know."
It's
I
either
feel-
that or
this
the
is
book
how
at
I
bedtime.
feel.
It's up to you.
This is exactly how I feel every time I show my friends who haven't seen it Die Hard for Christmas. They all hate it. They all hate it.
Best
What?
Christmas movie.
Oh.
The
it's
answer
so
is that
good.
Die Hard you can watch any time of year and it still applies.
You
Yeah.
can. You can watch it all the time or at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
special movie in that capacity.
Or both.
Or
Or
both.
both.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween movie, or Christmas movie?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
it's gotta pick one.
Oh.
I'm gonna go for Halloween movie.
I usually watch it for Halloween.
I'm gonna cheap
I
it.
don't-
I'm gonna cheap it out and say I watch it around Thanksgiving time, so I break even on the in between.
Yes.
I mean,
So,
if you're
That's
American,
cheating.
you can get away with
Like-
that.
yeah.
How did you
I-
manage to
I-
find the
Not all of us
centrist
can get away with that.
Oh God, I take it back then. No, I would say I would probably say that it's a Halloween movie.
I think it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
It's
but
like, well,
I get that. I get that.
it's the darkest before the dawn kind of best kind of Christmas movie. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's taking the darkest. What's the amazing line from the Community Christmas episode? It's like
the darkest timeline.
no, from the animated Christmas.
Oh, I'm trying to
episode,
think. I love
where
that
it's
show.
Christmas. The big sort of falseness about Christmas is it's the lie we tell ourselves. I'm butchering this. It's the lie we tell ourselves that the darkest and coldest days can be the closest and brightest. Or something.
Oh, so yeah, it's a good. Is
Completely
that Abed?
ruined
I'm just going to put
it's
this
like-
out here.
Annie.
That there are no Tim Burton films that are not Halloween movies. Period.
What about Pee Wee's Big Adventure?
Halloween movie.
Oh,
Halloween movie.
wait,
Oh,
was that a
here's-
Halloween movie?
Okay, here's one. What a Big Fish.
Marge!
But she's just Large Marge. She's just
Them clowns?
Yeah, but that's just.
Pee-wee totally a
Scary
Halloween
clowns.
movie.
It is about a child embracing a terrifying world.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one. It's his best movie. I love Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, Ellie, what were you saying? I cut you off, I think.
If there's one Tim Burton movie that might not be a Halloween movie, I'm gonna go for Big Fish.
Big Fish. I haven't
that
seen
Tim
that in
Burton?
years.
I have forgotten that movie exists.
Oh
Spoiled.
no! Oh no!
I gotta watch it. Now it's on my to rewatch list. I haven't watched that since it came out, I think. It'll be like seeing it all over again.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that was Tim Burton. It is not.
That is Tim Burton. It is the least Tim Burton movie there is, and
Yeah.
as to drop a real spicy take here, it's also why it's my favorite Tim Burton movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say Batman. The original Batman is also good for Halloween too. It's
is.
dark.
Yeah.
His
Dark.
Batman
Yeah.
is very
Yeah.
Halloween.
I can see that. I can see that.
Well, chat voted Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie, according to chat. But
Apparently there are
only
three
5
votes.
people
People,
voted,
chat.
and 3 voted for Christmas and 2 voted for Halloween. So
Oh, my
It's not a great
two
sample size.
comrades. My two Halloween comrades.
This is an important lesson on getting out to vote because your voice will not be heard if you don't. However,
Where's the tiebreaker? Somebody
However.
vote for Halloween.
however, 60% of chat. God bless you. You made the right call.
Batduck says he wanted to vote for both, and Jason said he would watch it from Halloween right through Christmas.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
was seriously, I'm with Lauren. I
Yeah.
watch it for my birthday, which happens to fall on Thanksgiving sometimes.
See?
Oh.
There you go. It's the best of both worlds. I love it.
Nightmare Before Christmas was released in October. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Well, now we're an educational stream.
I have a really funny story about The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think it's too PG-13, so I can't say it.
That's okay. We're 18 plus.
What if it has to do with the reefer?
The Batman villain?
Well, anyway, long story short, the first time I ever did that, I went to go see years later. I went to see the re-released version of it in the theaters in 3D. So I had glasses on. So then I was watching it with the 3D glasses over my regular glasses, and unfortunately, it was the most amazing thing that I'd ever seen for the first 15 minutes, and then I promptly fell asleep. But when at the end of it, when I woke up, I was just like, oh, did I fall asleep? All right, let's go. And then I was just walking around with the 3D glasses on top of my regular glasses without realizing it for quite a while before my now husband told me what was happening. So that was my funny Nightmare Before Christmas story.
Amazing. I love it.
Anyway, it wasn't that good, but anyway.
Was this before or after the 3D glasses? Glasses were more like regular glasses.
Oh, this was a long time ago. They
Okay,
were
this is
enormous.
before.
I didn't really realize
The
it.
cardboard.
When
and
they, yeah,
very
the cardboard like
visible
blue and red.
lenses.
They were still like the plastic ones, but it was like the first gen plastic ones. So they were just
Yeah, those
ludicrously
were awful.
huge. Yeah, they were big. I should have noticed. Let me just put it that way. 2 pairs of glasses. Nope, I was good. I was ready to roll.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's see. Baron von Uberdorf would like to know, what was all of yours favorite emotional moment at the table?
Oh, I know what mine was.
Oh,
I know what mine was.
I think Orc actually was watching when mine was streamed.
Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. You're going to feel real bad then.
I
So
know.
mine was, I mentioned before we started that I just had a character pass away. So last session, they gathered with the character's family, and everybody read eulogies and made offerings, and like the paladin took their oath of revenge based on this character's death, and it was
That's
a lot.
intense.
Like we put up content warnings and stuff because the whole thing was like you're at a funeral for someone,
Yeah.
and it was definitely a big emotional moment.
Yeah. Oh, the most emotional was actually was on the Intelligence Check podcast. This happened earlier on season 2, so if anybody is watching and you don't want a spoiler alert, pause for the next few minutes. But in one round, we lost 2 PCs. We almost lost more, but in that game we lost 2 PCs back to back. They both rolled 2 back-to-back 1s in their last death saving throws. It was like one of those moments that was so brutal, and I think I cried like 4 hours total that day. It's ridiculous. Listening to the episode back, it's just intense. But it was a funeral episode, and it was giving their eulogy, and yeah, that was intense. The one character, my character, had started to kind of fall. I would argue was starting to fall for maybe him a little bit, and then he died. So that was a bummer. But it was also some of the most fun role play ever. So it was a fun time, even being the saddest of times. That was very emotional.
It was the worst of times. It was the best of times.
Yes, exactly.
It was the worst of times.
Yes.
That's right.
Sarah Dickens TTRPG, I would play that in a heartbeat. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good society, but with more soot. I think mine. I think like mine was. It makes me sound like a monster, but I made someone cry by killing an NPC.
You did good.
As the DM, and I say that because it was my first. I think it might be my first time DMing, and it was the moment where I could look across the table and go, okay. It was a moment of real gratitude for me, because it meant another adult with a real person's job, and out in the real world, there's enough of a sort of a balloon around us right now that these people have kept tense and taut, so that these things around the table really are having an actual emotional impact.
Yeah.
And you can't force that as a DM. Like that, it's up to everyone at the table to hold that space. So when that happened, and other people were taking it seriously as well, it wasn't one person just going mental. It was a really lovely sign of cooperation. I think it was a really sort of a really lovely moment of gratitude. And the way I did it was this was their sort of quest giver for the one shot, and it was a sort of sins of the father storyline about him, even though they didn't know that. And the thing that killed him was a shadow demon that had attached itself to his 6-year-old daughter as a way to punish him, and it popped out of her and like attacked him, and they had this whole combat. And afterwards, after he died, when they were leaving, it vanished. She opened her eyes and said, "Where's Papa?" And everyone at the tables went like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
The feels.
Got him.
Got him. Oh.
But mainly it was the crying thing. Just like that, everyone's putting in the work.
Yeah. When it's so gratifying when you can get an emotional reaction from a story that you're all telling together. Absolutely, it's awesome.
And I think it might be something that players sometimes kind of need a reminder on, like as a player myself as well. Like if you want those moments, if you want your table to be Critical Role, it's not the DM doing that. It's everyone at the table. It's everyone putting the phone away, or committing, or like making those big emotional leaps, and trusting each other to do that. So that's a very long answer to mine.
That's fantastic. Gosh, I'm trying real hard to pick out just one, but I'm gonna have to go with the party had snuck back into had gotten smuggled themselves back into a city where they were wanted for treason against the crown, which they did not commit. They were framed. That is a true story.
They were framed.
And, my character was working, well, kind of a black sheep on probation from the law enforcement agency that was out to arrest us. I did not know this was going to be a thing when I created the character, and it just worked out perfectly, like played right into the GM's hands. And this was in Savage Worlds, and something like 6 weeks prior, like of real time, 6 sessions prior, we were, myself and other PC were in jail after getting arrested in one city for the same crime that we didn't commit, and things were going really badly, and we were both completely out of bennies, which in Savage Worlds is a meta currency that lets you do things like re-roll. If you fail to roll or want a better, just want a better result or whatever, you can spend a benny, spend your token, re-roll it. We were completely tapped out, even though it was just a role play session, because that was how intense things were going. And my friend goes, "Well, I've got this adventure card. I don't know if I should play it." And he shows us, and it's the Betrayed card, which adventure cards are a carrot stick usually kind of thing, where in this case, playing it was going to fully refresh his stack of bennies in exchange for, at some future time, the party is betrayed by someone close to them. And at that point in the campaign, we were just like, we literally could not think of anyone left who was both alive and had already betrayed us and didn't want to. So, so we're sitting there in the scene. I'm just like, man, just do it. Go for it. I was like, we have no one left to betray us at this point. I was wrong. Getting smuggled back into Sharn, I sent a message to my character sent a message to his best friend, who was also one of these law enforcement folks, and being like, hey man, everything's gone bad. We've been set up. We gotta believe me. Meet me at our usual place. And after 6 weeks, that was when the betrayal got played, where we're sitting in this little, kind of little back room, having a conversation. He's clearly uncomfortable, and then just, my character's just like, man, you believe me, right? Like, you're my brother. You gotta believe me. And he just goes, I'm sorry. And the door opens, and there's the guy who framed us. That was a moment.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah. 6
Sometimes-
weeks. We'd
yeah.
all forgotten about the card even at that point.
Cold.
It all just floods back. Oh,
It was a good play.
yeah. Like that. Good stuff.
And he wasn't even like the NPC wasn't intending. He didn't even see or intend it as betrayal. It was simply, him and the trader. They had the information they had. The trader was, of course, the star agent of this group. Perfect record. My guy was not, and it was a very genuine. Like, if anyone messed up, it was you. I'm sorry, man. I love you, but. And yeah, good times.
Dun,
Love
dun,
it.
dun. The
Mhm.
ultimate betrayal.
It was an ultimate betrayal.
Those sting. Those always make you. You're always
Yeah.
just like, oh, my heart. Why?
Oh,
Why,
right, my
fictional
feelings.
character? Why?
I've had some very emotional, happy moments at the table. Like at the end of that campaign, things actually worked out in such a way that my character was able to drop his major shame hindrance, which is a huge deal.
Oh,
Yeah, the redemption arc, it was good, but yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I just want to say I'm really glad that we all went with like emotional sad
Yeah.
instead of emotional
I-
happy right off the
Like,
bat.
I was supposed to say something happy or not. Like, I've had lots of happy ones.
No kittens. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to mute myself. My cats are about to have a slap fight.
They're gonna brawl.
Yeah, like it's going down.
Should we put it on? Should we put it on pay-per-view and
We should.
That's right.
like
It's
charge
Goku.
for it? Yeah.
Goku versus Mustache. Who will win?
Chat, get in the comments now.
Right.
Hold on.
Place your
Well done.
bets.
Who's gonna win?
I can already tell you, Mustache is gonna win. Mustache has got like 15 pounds on Goku,
It's Mustache off the top rope.
and she's got the high ground. She's on the chair. She's just slapping him in the face, and he's just taking it like ah. He's an idiot. Poor
Aw.
Goku. He just loves to fight. He can't help himself. It's his Saiyan blood.
Poor
Amazing.
kitties.
No. I need the treat button for you idiots. Anyway, sorry, I derailed us. My kittens.
It happens a lot. Don't worry, it's all good. All right. I have two. Both are emotional sad. So one was in the very first streaming game I ever played in, which was a Pathfinder game. And I've talked about this before, so if you're a regular, you've heard both of these stories. But so this one was my character Edabrix was in a relationship with an NPC, and the adventuring party had found out that there was a attack planned on the village that we were in, and so we were trying to make a plan to get everybody evacuated from the town, and it just so happened that the guy that my character was in a relationship with was a ship captain, had his own ship and everything. So we were like, oh, we'll load a bunch of people up onto your boat. You can get them out into the water so that, they're at least not in the village when something happens, and we were like, clearly we can't fit the whole village on your boat, but this will help get us a lot of, get a lot of people out. So we start evacuating the town. We get a bunch of people on the boat. He's up there like, kind of directing everybody around and giving orders, and the ship blows up. And that was like, ugh. It was devastating.
How many people were on it?
Oh gosh. I don't know to be sure, but there was a lot. There was a lot. Like, we had to go out and do search and rescue in the water, and yeah, it was
man.
very upsetting. And of course that was because it was a streamed game. That was like, you see that an explosion happens in the water, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was bad. So I mean, that really, on the flip side though, it worked out really well for some character development, because it really steered how I took my next few levels. So that was really cool because she was a rogue up until that point, and then the next level she took was in fighter. So yeah, she was like, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, so there was that, and then another one was when I was playing. So when I was playing the that Savage World of Darkness crossover game, I had to bow out of the game, just scheduling reasons. At that point, I was in like 4 streamed games a week, and I was like, I'm a single mom. I don't have time for this. Like, schedule was getting nuts, so I needed to bow out. And so this actually didn't happen on stream, but we had a room in Discord where like we could use it for like in-character conversation when needed, you know, if we were trying to hash something out or whatever. And so after having a conversation with the GM and the showrunner, I let them know that I needed to do this, and they were like, "Do you want us to talk to everybody?" And I said, "Nope, I've got this," you know. And so in the Discord channel for that, I basically wrote like, so this was a character, she was a werewolf. Everybody else in the party was there was a changeling, a Dampier, and 2 vampires. And so for whatever, like, it was just one of those things, like either everybody was out or sleeping or whatever. And so in the last episode that I had been in with everyone, one of the characters had a gun, and his gun jammed and it wouldn't work. And so my character had a 9mm, nothing super fancy, but she's like, really? I'm a werewolf. I don't really need this. So like, you know, he's asleep in the room. She goes in, leaves the gun on his bedside table with a note that just said, "You need this more than I do." And she left. And that was it. She didn't say anything to anybody else. And so it worked out for the story in that regard, because when the next time they all got together, they were all like, "Oh my God, where'd Claudia go?" You know? So it worked out for the stream that way, but it was like, it was super gut wrenching for me, and like for them too. They were like, "Oh my God, why did you do it that way?" And I was like, because she had to get out of the storyline somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really sad. So yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Didn't you get 85-90% of your NPC boyfriend back?
Yeah, until we found out that he was until we found out that he had been what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. Possessed.
That's pickle.
Yeah, we found him. We found him, you know, he had ended up being like kidnapped and taken to a cave, and he'd lost all but 2 of his fingers in trying to escape.
Oh.
And so
Damn.
he only had
he
his
still-
thumbs.
Was it only thumbs?
He was all
Only
thumbs.
pinkies? All thumbs. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
ask the question, is so and so back? You never want the answer to be percentages.
Yeah. So we were like, yeah, he just had his thumbs, and then we get him back to town, and yeah, like a few sessions later, we found out, like, you know, we were like, he's acting really weird, and then we were like, oh yeah, we also just managed to bring like some pretty serious demon into town. That was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool.
That's fine.
Oops. Yeah, no big deal. All right, we're gonna
possessed, but
pause
can
here
only
for a
express.
break. Actually, we are about 10 minutes over our break time already, so I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to refill drinks and, you know, let their dogs out and all that good stuff. So we're going to pause for a quick break. If you have any questions, chat, if you have any questions that we haven't gotten to yet, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I think we have 1 or 2 standing by, so we can get to those afterwards, but feel free to leave those in the chat, and we will be back in just a few minutes. See you soon. All right, we are back. Hope you all had a good break. I know we did. We were discussing the milk bread that I was eating during the first half that my teenager came in because she was baking it right before we went live. So now not only does my house smell fantastic, but I have homemade milk bread in my kitchen. So yay. Let's see. We're going to dive right back in with questions. So the next one that we have comes from, yes.
Are we not going to address the costume change?
I was going to see if anybody noticed.
Exists.
I mean,
Yeah, no, you never address those
David
things,
S.
man.
Pumpkin.
yeah, we brought the first part of our pumpkin superhero family in.
Pumpkin suit. He's
Right.
here.
I know it's true. I love it. I
We're
love it
ready
so
for it.
much.
It's outstanding.
I just need it to glow now.
Oh, that would be
Glow
cool.
in the dark?
No, I wish. I'm a little sad these aren't brighter. I have orange LEDs next to me,
Oh.
but they're not bright enough. If I turn off my ring light, they're not bright enough for my face.
Aww.
You could
That's
I
sad.
still think it's snazzy.
As
They
someone
have
who's
glow in
worn
the dark fabric paint. You could adorn your little pumpkins. with
That's what I
that
was just
too.
thinking. Yeah.
All right.
As someone
Well,
who's
that's going
worn
on the
novelty
list.
suits in the past, how sweaty are you already?
It is pretty warm. It is made of, I'm pretty sure, just thick plastic.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I have a matching one for Christmas that is just Santa heads.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
That is
I love it.
festive.
Love
Yep.
it so much.
The severed
Okay, so
Santa.
Clearly, what you need to do
That's
is
we're Santa heads.
You wear
What
the top
you
and the
need to do
bottom
now-
to different suits, and now you've got the Nightmare Before Christmas suit.
that exactly. Sew them together, make one suit like Two-Face, but it's a Nightmare Before Christmas suit.
Oh, there's a seam like dead center in the back. Too,
Yeah.
so that's actually really doable.
Do it.
Perfect scheme.
Perfect.
I love it. I love it. All right. Let's see. The next question that we have is let's see. I gotta see. Okay, from Zeal Zaddy, the question is TTRPG preference: killers, monsters, paranormal, or psychological horror?
Ooh, do that list again.
Killers, monsters, paranormal, or psychological horror?
Like, what are we going to use against our players?
Just as preference. So sure.
I prefer psychological horrors because most of my players are also really close friends. So I know how to needle them appropriately. Like everything is consent. Like there is immediate shutdown code options. But like I know exactly how to get under their skin and the themes that will bring them more into who their character is and politely torment them into playing more.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the same answer for a different reason, which is I think in any TTRPG, your players will get a lot more scared if they can't punch it. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's something like any group of D&D adventurers over level about 3 or 4 realistically can find a way to handle a physical, you drop a monster in front of them with hit points and AC, they're going to find a way around that. If you present them with just some nightmare that there aren't rolls to avoid or to hit, and they've actually got to sit around as a group and say, what the hell is happening and what do we do? Genuinely, what do we do? That, I think, is going to get under your player's skin way more than,
Yeah.
here's a bugbear to hit.
Agreed.
That's
Bonus points if you can add in creepy sound effects to go with it.
Yes. Oh. Yeah,
There's
paranormal.
there's nothing quite like a little girl's creepy laugh just playing softly in the background while your players are trying to think.
pick a song, slow it down, have it sung by a child. Profit.
Yup.
Yep.
One of the it's funny that you mentioned that, Matt, because one of the I was gonna say paranormal is my favorite. I would say just because there's so much that you can do with it. There's so much that you can do to psychologically torment with paranormal, so it's kind of both. But one of the first my DM or GM Jeff for the Pathfinder game. He always does creepy stuff like that. One of the first places we went to investigate was this old ancient prison that should have had no one in it at all. And we were exploring, and we came across this like dungeony area where there was like this little girl that was just sitting in the cell. And it was terrifying. What ended up happening was terrifying. I think she got out. So when we came back, I think she was gone. So I think she actually has been following us, this creature. But that was terrifying. He's done a couple things that were really creepy. It's the weird paranormal aspect is always interesting. He introduced the 4 mega bad big bads in his game are these hags, and at one point we'd gone into the town. I don't want to get too far into the story, but we'd gone into the town. We ended up trying to help this man and his little girl. Their mother was taken, blah blah blah. We ended up we helped things, but we found out that when we got back, this old woman that we were meeting was the little girl from the town that we helped. So we went through some kind of weird like time vortexy thing, and while we were there solving the problem, my character, is a little rogue gnome, had found the goggles of I can't remember what they're called. You can basically see into other planes of existence. So okay. I turn around to look at this old woman who was Sarah, this little girl that we had known just a few days ago as a little girl, and I had flipped my goggles down, and creeping, hanging on to her back, unbeknownst to even the old woman, was just like this spectral hag that was just basically like leeching off of her, and no one knew that she was there. I was the only one that could see her when I flipped my glasses down, and the reveal that he gave was terrifying. Oh, it was so creepy. So yeah, I love paranormal stuff. It scares the hell out of me. It's good.
Is your GM in chat? Because I would like to have a discussion.
I'll get him. Yeah, I'll hook him. I'll hook you up with him if you want his contact information. This isn't Kyle. This is my friend Jeff that I work with. But yeah, nice. His use of horror in games is it's amazing. He always just keeps upping the ante, and he does a really good job.
My only question about that is, did it notice you?
Oh yes, she saw and knew all of us, and I forget what happened, but she left. She left shortly thereafter. But the fact that she was there, it had basically been there was something that we gave the little girl / old woman that released her from this thing, but it had been attached and feeding off of her for her entire life, and the only reason that she became aware of it was because of these goggles. So it was just this really creepy, horrible thing to consider, and it was just it was creepy as hell. It was a good job. Yeah, it was gross. Hags are my favorite.
Oh yeah, hags are great.
Yeah.
Because they will mess with you. It's
It's
not a pile of hit points and a sword.
Yeah.
It's like that they are gonna know you.
Yeah.
They're gonna take their time, and they are going to mess with you.
Yeah, it's so creepy.
It reminds me of. Go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say that is honestly why my favorite is combining killers, and not necessarily psychological horror, but the game. Having having the killer who plays the game by not the stuff that players instantly peg as creepy, but a seemingly innocent remark or response to a question that is just a little bit off, but they can't peg why.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of really noir focused murder mysteries. I love noir as a genre. And yeah, the psychological games through the statement or question that has a double or triple meaning is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, it's like playing chess. You gotta keep. Yeah, that's it's. See, you have to be so smart and talented to run a game like that. I'm not that smart, so I give a lot of credit to the people that can do it because I can't quite do it. But it's so when that payoff happens, oh, it's amazing to see. I love
the
it.
best DM trick I ever saw. Someone on Twitter wrote that he had his players. They encountered some sort of changeling or shape-shifting creature that then escaped from them. They went into a new area, and he texted every single one of his players the same message. He texted them, "You are still you. Play normally."
Wow.
Nice.
Just said that to everyone, and everyone around the table went, just like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" And it was, but he just lifted the tension to 11 with the simplest trick.
Yeah,
That's
It's
wild.
So good.
that's pretty good. That's pretty
Because
good.
it's so good because you haven't even had to tell one of your players, "Okay, now be evil,"
Yeah.
But it's just you've just achieved it all.
I love hearing these little things because they're just little things that you can put in the back of your mind and use at a later date in your own games, and it's just so fun to have all these little all these little ideas. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. One other thing I really like to do as a GM is the stuff that I don't even have to, come up with all these wheels within wheels and the double and triple entendre. Just, as a PC asks the NPC something, or vice versa. Actually, that's my preferred one because it's easier. Is NPC asks PC a question, they answer very confidently, and the NPC says, "Oh, are you sure? I'll see you around." And exit stage left.
Oh, my fragile mind would be like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. It's great. It's so easy. You don't need wheels within wheels. You don't need to be quick on the draw. Just drop
True.
that smoking Chekhov's gun and get that NPC out of there.
True. That's true.
Yeah, say on that same note, like all of my players have a Discord channel that is dedicated to the game, and they go through and talk about all these theories, and they're like, "Oh man, what if it's this or what if it's this?" And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, what if it was that? That would be awesome.
Yeah. I have a
Stealing it.
I have a tactic I think of as I've in my head I've called Schrodinger's helmet, which is it's the cliche is it's the movie where the heroes confront a masked or helmeted antagonist, and 2/3 of the way through we discover it's their best friend, or it's a woman, even more boringly. So my version of that is Schrodinger's helmet, which is you confront them with an antagonist in a helmet, and under that helmet it's just empty. Like, I don't know who that is, but just I know that in 10, 12 sessions, whoever it's most convenient for it to be, it's going to be that person.
Oh, I like that.
We just started a horror campaign, and it was we've been asked to rescue some children, some siblings from a home, and we get in there and we have a bad time. We have a very bad time getting up to where the kids are supposed to be, and the door is locked, and we break in, and there's dead kids in the room.
Oh, that's rough.
And it was the kids who were outside asking us to rescue the kids.
No.
Oh, wait. Is this a like a Strahd mini adventure?
Like so. I don't know the whole deal, but yeah.
So I was actually just playing that like last weekend, and it's, I guess, Strahd spoilers if you are playing Strahd. But yeah, like the ghosts of the kids outside tell you to go in, and then the ones upstairs talk to you, and like if you say the wrong thing, like they ask you to play, and if you say, "Yeah, I'll play with you," you don't get to leave, or if you try to leave, the ghost possesses you.
Yeah, no,
It
it was
great.
very effed up. It was delightful twist, but we had a very bad time. First level characters in a Strud type campaign, and I was suplexed off a 3rd-story balcony.
Oh no! Did you make it?
Yes, I landed my acrobatics roll.
Oh my god!
So I took fairly minimal damage. My brother's character, however, was just like broken when he had something similar happen to him.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we got our asses kicked by an animated broom.
animated broom. What was it?
Was it the
Fantasia.
broom
Yeah, we were like,
But
we were
sucks too.
really messed up because there's no fighters in our group. I don't know why we decided to do this. It's like a cleric, a mage, a thief, and crap. I think I want to say
Something
he's
else
a druid,
squishy.
and it's
Oh
a druid,
yeah.
right? And
Oh no.
the thief is a Leninist Marxist who's trying to hand out pamphlets to everyone. The druid is like high and a hippie, but we get in there and like everything is just murdering us, and so like we need to heal up. So we lock ourselves in a closet, and as we're trying to sleep and get our rest in,
As one
the
does.
brooms and utensils come to life and try to murder us.
No.
As
Mob
Yeah, that
mimic.
was great. One of our players for that room busted open the door, and they're like, "Well, as you bust open the door, a broom handle smacks you in the face." And I'm like, "Oh, that's fine." And they're like, "No, the broom handle starts to pummel you."
It's still
Broom
going.
has a knife.
Yeah.
Right?
What now? This room's gonna stab someone.
Oh no! I knew
When
I knew
the
I didn't like
utensils
housework for a
attack
reason.
Right.
That's why I've
Hang
avoided
on.
brooms
Hang
ever
on.
since.
If the utensils attacked you, does that mean that the knife had a knife?
That's the
Knife.
question.
Oh.
Dun dun
Or did the
dun.
knife make an unarmed attack?
Cutlery set. What? Oh, okay. No, okay.
No
no,
arms,
I've-
definitely unarmed.
I'm not going to sleep tonight now.
The questions, they're too deep. They've gone too
Listen,
deep.
listen. You gave us the "you have 2 minutes to live." I don't want to hear it.
I mean, that's
He's got
fair.
a point. He's got a point.
Comeuppance. No, I don't like it.
Oh god. I love it.
Well, I know what my Halloween game's going to be now.
What's it gonna be?
Brooms with knives.
Oh, it's going to be that game. You have 2 minutes to live.
Oh
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
no. Oh.
And set a timer while you're at it.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, you just
Play
put the
the
timer on
Or
screen.
play
Yeah.
the Sonic music. 2 minutes. Everyone will be just decimated by the end.
Oh my god. It's like the shortest version of 10 candles ever.
A candle.
Yeah. A candle with like someone breathing on it.
Yeah. Birthday candle. Toddler birthday candle. It's gonna be gone in a second.
And then there's spit everywhere and it gets weird
Yeah,
and
you-
yeah.
You don't want to eat that cake. That's gross.
Going back to the broom in chat, Apache 1222. Does that mean a broom handle would do sweeping attacks with bludgeoning damage?
Everything's
That's-
a trick attack.
10 out of 10.
Right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I love it. I love it.
The broom's attack is just like sweeping you off stage, like at the Apollo Theater. It's just like get the hell out of here,
Get out.
you son of a bitch. Yeah,
This is my closet.
you suck. You're not allowed in here.
All right. Baron von Uberdorf, what was your one of your biggest moments when you or another player did something that was seriously going to put either the PC lives or the storyline at major risk?
I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. Towards the end of the campaign, we're fighting the big bad. We're in a cavern we're in like ankle deep water fighting this troll. And we are getting our butts kicked. And I roll a natural 20 and get a critical hit. But got my axe in this thing. And the mage decides to cast lightning.
Oh no!
And everyone is in the water except for the mage.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
That'll do it.
And this was like advanced D&D like 2.5, something like that. There's like, it was just,
A little bit of death.
It was just everyone was soup after that. Just a pot of adventurer's soup.
That was it. That was we were all gone.
Oh man.
See, I have a harder time answering that question if anybody listens to the podcast, because we have a druid named Name who's a gnome who just causes chaos at every turn. So I'd have to think about which time he almost killed all of us by doing something just ridiculous. The most recent time was when we had essentially a dragon turtle not ghost, like spirit, like skeleton spirit following us from it was trying to fight us. We escaped it, and we're fighting the actual bad guys that we need to be fighting. So Name the druid goes back and basically is like, hey, come here, you can fight this other thing. That it's a long story, but he ended up bringing the creature back, and it would do a steam attack across the entire battlefield. So each of us, every time the dragon turtle thing was doing the steam attack, we were taking upwards of like 50 hit points of damage every time to everybody that was hit. So that almost killed us multiple times. But that's just one of many of the Name. Him throwing a grenade into a tank and then just running away. So yeah, I'd have to narrow it down, but that was a fun time.
Why is it always the gnomes in the party?
Oh no, they're so precocious. Always causing shenanigans.
Right?
It's always magic casters for me. Like, I'm in an elevator, I'm going to cast a fireball, excuse me.
Oh no!
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
Exactly.
Oh.
I remember we played through Curse of Strahd, and quite early on, we were in. For anyone who's played, I'll just say we were in the coffin maker's shop a little earlier than I think we were supposed to be, and we didn't really think it through, and we were spread out through the building, and my wife's dragonborn barbarian character, whose sort of character trait could often be summed up as like, I wonder what this does.
Oh no.
Started opening boxes in a coffin shop in Curse of Strahd.
Oh no!
So she went, she was in a room full of boxes. She went, yes, I opened one. And our DM went, okay. And we went, what's the box, Mike? And he went, what's in the box? And he went, I think actually, I forgot, last session you guys were supposed to level up. And we were like, what's in the box?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and vampires, like Jack in the Boxes, just sort of left and right started popping out.
Oh no!
All vampires.
Bless him, he let us level up on the spot, and then we still were just ruined.
Oh no! Did anybody die?
No one died. A couple of people went down.
Okay.
We dragged them out, but we managed to it meant we were then in. I'm trying to remember if that's in Barovia or Vallaki, the town, but we basically just spilled vampires out into the town.
Oh
no!
Had to spend an evening and a night and a morning, running around town, just putting out the fires that we'd spilled everywhere. It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
The lesson of the day is don't go opening up any more coffins.
Right.
Don't go opening anything in Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's yeah.
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 Stand back to back
So-
in the middle of the road holding knives. That's it.
The only way to live.
Hey, you've got
So
some
I'm
red
torn
on
on two. I have a really short one. The first combat of my current campaign, my players were running through the forest and disturbed this group of bears. And they're like, oh, it's fine. So the rogue runs up, and then the bear slaps him and downs him and takes away 2 death saves.
Oh, geez. Oh, no.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm like, yeah, I told you guys this was going to be dangerous. Like,
Oh no.
the longer one, though, is my character, the party was protecting this person that was in a coma, magically induced coma. And they found out that because he was in a coma and being active full time, he wasn't actually resting and steadily taking levels of exhaustion. So the party is like, oh, well, we got to fix this, and then did nothing to fix it, and then fought about who was going to pay the 500 gold.
Oh.
Mind you, they're sitting on like millions in their own keep and everything. They're arguing about who's going to pay the 500 gold to keep casting Greater Restoration to take away those levels of exhaustion. So they finally wake the person up, and one character in the party was like, listen, these guys don't have your best interest at heart. Here's what they did. They almost let you die over 500 gold. I paid for it all myself. You should just come with me. And the whole party was like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean?
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
In a game where money becomes valueless in like session 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the
No,
best
but-
part was like, the party's like, oh, well, he has to roll a deception check. I'm like, no, everything they said is technically correct.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. You found all of the best ways to say something to show somebody in the worst light while still telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of is the old there's an old news story where the US, and it was either Russia or Germany, had a race, just the 2 cars, and the news story was printed. United States comes in second. Germany finishes next to last.
Yeah, I have 2 short stories from my favorite moments. One of them is also directly related to a PC being extremely cheap. These were both in Savage Worlds campaigns, 2 different campaigns, and Savage Worlds has a core mechanic called hindrances, which are like flaws in D&D, except there's not a nice way to say they're still like flaws, except they actually matter. They're intrinsic. Like, once you choose a hindrance, it is baked in, it's part of the game. There are mechanical things associated with it. And the intention of having them is for you to use them as role-playing guides to do those things that essentially help stem metagaming. That, like, yeah, where, Ellie's going, man, that's a really stupid idea, but Jack is going, this makes perfect sense, and or isn't even thinking, just doing it. So the first one was also a player being extremely stingy. We were traveling in a very lawless wilderness, and had all this telegraphing where we came across a canyon. Had to get past there was a route around on a ridge, and there was also going straight through the canyon. Myself and other PC did some scouting. There was no good reason. We kind of saw a couple of knolls on the cliff. There was no good reason to go into the canyon, which I could see archers above, like on the ledge. But other player playing to his hindrances decides, like, I don't want to I don't want to go through some grimy brush. Let's just shortcut through the canyon. I can totally sweet talk these guys. And so
Oh no.
in Eberron, the D&D's traditionally monstrous races are they're just as much people as anyone else in the world in Eberron. You know, they're not monsters, they are people. So, you know, like gnolls, minotaurs, etc. And he goes down to the entrance of the canyon, and there's this massive minotaur decked out, you know, in armor with an axe like bigger than the PC is. And, you know, like, hey, this is a toll road. You're going to pay 100 gold for passage. The party is sitting on several thousand. We have absolutely nothing to spend it on. And he just goes, I think you can do better. Let's make it 50. And without, Minotaur just lowers its horns and we don't play with the wound cap rule. We didn't play. I'm not at that table anymore. We didn't play with the wound cap rule. So immediately he takes 7 wounds, which is normally you go to 3 and then the 4th one downs you. He has no bennies left. Manages to roll a raise on his death save so that he doesn't even have a lingering injury, like luckiest man in the world. And luck was one of his edges that he used a hindrance to buy. So that was kind of funny. It didn't matter there, that's not what it's for. But anyways, long story short, that's the end of that session. Next week, the rest of us are left in this fight that we can't win. Ultimately, we wound up paying, 10 times what the Minotaur was asking, for the toll road, in order to escape with our lives. Well, this guy's just there, crumpled, unconscious, bleeding on the ground, and he doesn't have to play this out. So that was a good one. And the other one that was awesome was a seafaring campaign. There's a squall NPC man overboard, and we're gonna do lays out. This is a dramatic task, and the more your goal is to help him get back on board. Help move the ship, throw out lines and floats, whatever. But if you go in the water, then you're making rolls for yourself, and you're not helping him anymore. Again, playing to hindrances. What does my friend do? Boop, straight into the water. And doing so rolls a critical failure. And again, in Savage Worlds, those actually matter. They are baked into the system. They are the one thing you cannot re-roll, and bad things are going to happen. So then my character, whose hindrance is to, be saving everyone, sees both. There's the first guy in the water, and then this guy, goes in and doesn't come back up. So I'm just like, shit, I'm going in. And then, manage to kind of help them a little bit. We're all struggling in the water. There are 2 players left, PCs left on board. One of them, they're like, they're helping, throw lines and pull us in. And one of them just goes, I'm coming! And goes right in the water. And I rolled a critical failure on trying to get back to the ship.
No.
But the short version is we were very stupid, and we all lived, and the only person who didn't go in the water was the chaotic, stupid character of that campaign.
Oh, the irony.
Of course. Oh my gosh.
I love
It's
it.
just not what their character would have done.
Oh,
Well, he
that's
also had a
funny.
very strong sense of self-preservation. So, yeah, it wouldn't have been what he was done to go in at all. He completely played to his character by being the smart one staying on board.
That's fair.
Love it.
It's par for the course in Savage Worlds because of hindrances that at least twice a night, if players don't put the entire party in jeopardy or turn something completely sideways by playing to their hindrances, they're not playing to their hindrances, and we're going to have a talk with them after the game.
I
Put
think
everybody in danger more.
What's that?
They gotta put him in danger more. I love it.
No, they have to put themselves in danger. That's the
That's
goal.
true.
They're self-directed. You got to do that to you, and then roll with the punches, and that's the fun.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So these things like hindrances, are they more serious equivalents of 5e, like bonds, flaws? Those kind of
Yeah.
things?
So they're things you take at character creation. You know, the carrot with the stick is that you can use them to buy edges, which are similar to 5e feats, but again, like they're amped up. And hindrances have typically both role playing and mechanical factors to them. Some have only behavioral, some have only mechanical. Most of them have both. So, for example, oh gosh, what's one that has both off the top of my head? Wow, now I can't even think of it. Outsider is one. So you are not from around wherever the game, the campaign is taking place, and not only that, but there are prejudices in the region against people who come from where you came from, and so you suffer a -2 to all persuasion rolls and intimidation rolls as well, I believe. But then the other part of it is you're playing as being someone who is a fish out of water, or arrogant is a great one. You're so arrogant that you always have to dominate a situation. That doesn't mean to be fighting wise, but if it isn't a fight, you're always going for the the biggest guy, and if it's not in a fight, you're saying things that are going to get the party in trouble because you're so arrogant and things like that. And you're not meant to be playing these things every single interaction. They're meant to be like character flaws in real life, where they're part of you, they come out a lot, they inform a lot of your interactions, but they don't define them. You're not always doing it, but when it's a cool thing.
I like it.
Love
I like it.
Hindrances are my favorite part of the system, honestly.
I'm checking this out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
back to that.
though,
I
we
want
are
a
out of
list of-
time.
Oh, that went fast.
I know, it
Alright.
did go fast. It's because we took our break late, but yeah, we are out of time, so we need to wrap it up. So what I would like to do is have everyone go around, just remind us of who you are, where we can find you on the interwebs, and anything coming up that you would like to share, promote, talk about real quick, anything like that. We're going to go in the reverse order of when we started. So Lauren, we're going to start with you this time.
God, the pressure.
I know.
Hello or goodbye, everyone. Oh God, I already screwed it up because I said hello and it's goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Lauren, you can find me on Twitter again. I'm Larbarian or at Hottinger Lauren. Oh God, I'm trying to think of if I have anything. I don't really have anything to promote. You guys, I'm kind of the worst. Please listen to Intelligence Check D&D. Please listen to Warlock D&D. Maybe I'll have commissions open soon. Not right now. Sorry. I don't have anything else to promote. Just if I am promoting people on my page, please retweet the crap out of them. I do have a GoFundMe that you can find on my page, and I will retweet it out after the show. A good pal of mine, Corey Fouch, had some hardships recently, so I have a GoFundMe open if anybody wants to check it out. 50 cents would be anything. Anything you want to give, I would be happy to accept on his behalf. And that's basically all I've got. Thank you, everyone, and a pleasant evening to you all.
Lauren, I'm so glad you came back. It's always a pleasure. And
I know. Thanks, Luna.
I know. I'm so glad. Thank you. Ellie, we'll go over to you next.
Hello, goodbye. You did mess up. It's a song, a very famous one. I'm Ellie at TTRP Ellie on Twitter. I write things, I play things, I paint things, I grow things. Currently be keeping an eye on that Twitter for things like the relaunch of my blog, where I write about TTRPGs, and also keep an eye out there for hopefully PAX Unplugged panel with a absolutely cracking roster of panelists who are all way bigger and better at this than I am, but I'm very glad to call them my friends. And yeah, keep an eye out. I love to talk. I love to collaborate. If you need someone, you need a guest, you need a writer. I do both.
Yay.
Yay. Awesome. Well, Ellie, thanks for coming on and hanging out. It's been great to get to chat with you. Ellie and I have talked a lot behind the scenes, so it's always nice to actually get to see people, So awesome.
Yay.
Orc. Thanks for coming back.
It was lovely to be back. You can find me on Twitter at Orcrist86 and pretty much everywhere else. I'm lurking in various Discords, and I'm always paying attention because I try to help people find each other.
He's good at it too.
Have anything. I try because community is built with people, and some you just got to make sure that you know people. I don't really have any projects or anything coming up. Eventually, maybe I'll get my website fixed and I'll bring that back. So, just be kind to each other. Engage in radical empathy, please.
I like radical empathy. I'm a fan.
Love it.
Orc, I'm so glad you got to come back on and hang out one more time. It was so great. I always love when we get to chat. So thank you. Allo.
Hi and goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Luna, for putting this together, and it's been really lovely to meet all of you guys on stream here today. My name is Ola Clark. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JackBNimble42. You can find the book Tavern Tales, no relation, but obviously, I know you're on board with the name. You can find it at www.eplangames.com, or you can find Escape Plan Games on Twitter at eplangames.com. Anything other than that coming up? I just last week or so played a stream game with the brilliant Time Lord's wife on Twitch, and might be doing another one of those soon. Who knows? Keep an eye out. Really loved to be here and just chat about the thing that I normally get dragged kicking and screaming out of the room still talking about. So nice to actually just get to chat about it for a while. All the best.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm super glad that we got a chance to connect, and I'm excited to see what you have coming up next. So awesome. And Gum.
And me.
And
I'm
you.
Gumballow. You can find me pretty much everywhere with that name. If you Google it, it's pretty hard to find anyone else with that name, which I appreciate. I'm on Twitch on Mondays running Adventures in Calturnia. We have 3 other games on the channel during the week. One I'm a player in, and one I just produce behind the scenes. The other one, I lied. We have 3 total games on the channel. I can't keep track anymore. I'm in a 4th game, and Luna was talking about, I'm in 4 games a week. And I was like, that's a lot. And I'm like, wait.
I do that too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of games, I will be back here this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern playing Pathfinder 2E for the Casa de Colores fundraiser. So come back out, say hi, and you get to meet Henry Gorgash, my Pathfinder 2E peace cleric.
Oh, I like that.
That's right. No fighting, only peaceful resolutions.
Love it.
I love it.
Love it.
I give it 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, everybody. It was so great to have you all on. This has been a lot of fun. Always a pleasure to get to have new people on and some familiar faces. I really love it. Yes, as Gum has said, this coming weekend, starting Friday night and going right through Tales from the Tavern next Sunday, I am hosting a fundraiser for Casa de Colores. They are a startup 501c3 nonprofit which works with members of the LGBTQ plus migrant refugees, predominantly trans, and they are pretty much all from Central and Latin America. And so this is like really helping them like get their footing under them, and the startup is really the most challenging part for any nonprofit. So this will really hopefully help get them get some solid feet on the ground. So stop by and check that out. That will be right here on this channel again, starting Friday night and going right through Tales from the Tavern next Sunday. So that will be a lot of fun. Let's see, other stuff coming up. I don't know, check out the Shadowmane blog. That's where I've been doing a lot of stuff. You can microdose Tales from the Tavern every Wednesday, where we do a very short interview with members from all around the TTRPG community. Basically write blog posts and have videos that we share. That's Daisy making her appearance. And that's it. That's all I got for tonight. So we are going to, let's see, who are we going to go raid? We're going to go raid... we're going to go say hi to our friends Total Party Chill. They're playing some Dungeons & Dragons. If you haven't checked them out before, they are a lot of fun. They do some great work over there. And I will see you all next Sunday night right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, whole different panel of guests. So hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.